Who are you when no one is watching? Is the self a story, a memory, a thought loop with a name? Most of us grow up believing we are someone, a stable identity that moves through time, reacts, achieves, desires, and becomes. We call this the self. But when we look closely, the self begins to blur. The mind constructs identity like a mosaic. Bits of memory, emotion, social reflection, belief systems, and values are stitched together into a seemingly coherent narrative. Yet identity is less like a statue and more like a river. It flows, it shifts, it reforms with experience. Let's begin with thought. A thought is not just a passing signal. It is a builder. Every time we think, especially with repetition, we reinforce neural pathways. Thought patterns become mental habits. Mental habits become traits. And over time, those traits feel like me. But are they? The brain is a predictive organ. It constantly tries to anticipate what will happen next, what someone might say, how a situation might unfold, what you should feel. To do this, it relies on memory. But memory is not a recording, it is a reconstruction. Each time you recall a moment, your brain rebuilds it. Not as it was, but as it makes sense now. Details are edited. Emotions are colored in. Meaning is layered on top. This editing process is subconscious, and it feeds the narrative self. The narrative self is the ongoing story you tell about who you are. It has a timeline, a voice, a cast of characters. But beneath the narrative self is something quieter, the observing self. It doesn't speak, it watches. It notices thought arise and fall. It feels emotion bloom and dissolve. It holds the moment without naming it. This observing self is accessible through practices like mindfulness, values reflection, and even certain moments of awe or flow. When you touch it, identity becomes less rigid. You begin to see that you are not just your history, you are also your awareness of that history. Let's look at belief. Beliefs are deeply embedded thought structures. They act like lenses, filtering what we see, hear, and understand. Some are helpful, others distort. Cognitive science tells us that beliefs are formed through reinforcement. When a thought feels emotionally charged or socially validated, it becomes stickier. The mind is not neutral. It leans toward confirmation. It seeks what agrees with it and avoids what challenges it. This is known as confirmation bias. Over time, beliefs form identities. I am someone who doesn't trust people. I am someone who always needs to win. I am someone who is never good enough. But these are not truths. They are thoughts practiced into solidity. This is why awareness matters. When we become aware of the thoughts behind identity, we loosen their grip. We begin to choose. Not every thought needs to be believed. Not every belief needs to define us. Not every story needs to continue. The mind is plastic. It can reshape itself. This is the power of neuroplasticity. With attention and intention, we can weaken unhelpful patterns and strengthen new ones. We can reframe, realign, and rebuild. Mindfulness offers a space between thought and identity. Values offer a direction for becoming. Identity, then, is not a fixed sculpture. It is a process, an unfolding. You are not just who you were. You are who you are choosing to become. And that choice begins always in the mind.